Hello, everyone. Gail Gunn here with Energy Organizing, back for this week's topic of the big why. The why stands for what it is that I do, how it is that it came to be, and the yearning that I have to offer it as a way to guide others on their journey. And so today we're going to be taking a look at the services around life coaching. And, some of you may be familiar with coaching, some of you may not be as familiar with life coaching and the different areas in which coaching can be a benefit to people. But life coaching for me is about being able to guide you and help you or help someone get from where they are in life to where they want to go. I often talk about, when I'm talking to people about coaching services and the difference between therapy or working with a licensed professional and working with a certified life coach, is that in most cases or in many cases, a licensed professional helps someone who wants to know how they got where they are. It's very much focused in experiences that they've had to that particular point in life, whether it's just talking through something that's happening, something that has happened, or dealing with traumatic experiences. The therapist is there to help them process that and those things. Whereas a coach, whether it's a life coach or any form of coaching, is designed to help somebody get from where they are to where they want to go. So it's always very, it's forward thinking. It's focusing on what the person wants and how to help them with the breakthroughs that will get them to that particular point or to have those certain things. And actually, the two services go really, really well hand in hand, to be able to, if someone is feeling stuck or having difficulty processing something, there may be times when working with a therapist is the best option, and then there are times when working with a therapist, they may be ready for that next step, and being able to work with a life coach might be able to help move them forward. So so it really is, it's either way, it's about helping someone get unstuck and to be able to help move them forward. I decided that I wanted to add life coach. For me, coaching came in as a part of, helping people process the things that are in their space. I have always known that when it comes to physical clutter, it's a manifestation of an internal struggle. And so being able to work with somebody on the things in their space always brings up, emotions and things. And they could be good memories, they could be bad memories. We're processing the things that are in their space. And so, the life coaching or the organizing was a way to, and this is how they tie together, is that the organizing was a way to have an invitation into their space and to see what's happening and to see what's going on, and then being able to, help them process the things that are in their space. And so, after being in business for about a year, maybe 2 years, I decided that it was time to learn more about coaching and getting certifications, and to see what being trained, having more formal training would look like. So I decided that I would do that and have worked my way through different courses. Now, the real reason, or the big why behind the why for coaching becoming more a part of the focus that I'm doing now and working with people is kind of twofold. One is that it is part of my own journey in some of the other things that I was talking about, in going through the things in my space. I learned that I needed to process what I was holding on to and why I was holding on to it, and so I certainly get that part of it, and I recognized that when it came to organizing, it wasn't just about physical space, it was also about mental and emotional space, and being able to organize my thoughts or the different areas of my life, and to be able to identify what the different levels of success were that I was looking for in any of the life aspiration areas. And so, I decided to introduce coaching and to use it in the organizing, but also to offer it as a package, or a program for people who want to focus on non-physical space. And like I said, the second part of it, or the real big why beneath the why for me, is a tragic or traumatic experience that I had with a relative of mine. My aunt, Martha, was one of my favorite people. She was instrumental in moving me forward and helping me to get where I am in life. The thoughts that I have, the beliefs that I have, the way in which I chose to live was largely due to her influence in my life. And in 2016, she was diagnosed with cancer. And she was a very natural, holistic person. She had, she believed in homeopathy. She had herbal remedies. She lived a very, very healthy life. And the fact that she was diagnosed with cancer, it was her belief that it was traumatic experiences that she wasn't able to process and that she wasn't able to overcome. And she and I were very close, so she knew about my own personal journey. And when she was going through the toughest times in her recovery process, she reached out to me and said, I need you to come help me. I need you, would you come stay with me, and would you help me? Would you help me? And so I did. I flew out to New Mexico that year, and I spent about a week with her. I actually went there 3 times. The first time was to be with her and to see what I could do to help her, and to just to be with her. The second time I went back with my spouse, and again we tried to help, and we did what we could to take care of her and to be with her. And then unfortunately the third time that we went back that year was because she had passed away. The cancer was too far spread throughout her body, and there was a lot of other, couple other things that were going on, and it was really devastating because, like I said, she was one of my favorite people, and I felt responsible in some ways because I couldn't help her, because I didn't know how to guide her through what she was going through. I didn't know how to, and there wasn't enough time. It was, one of those things where she was just so sick that we weren't able to, process things to work through those things. And so there's certainly a lot of underlying things and more here, but she is one of the reasons that I do what I do, but also the coaching piece of it, and wanting to be able to help people who are ready to move forward. There, those people, those of you that are out there who want to, just want to let go of what no longer serves you mentally, physically, or emotionally, that's where the coaching piece comes in. And the organizing and the coaching, as I mentioned before, they go hand in hand. It's one of those things where, for me, it's just part of the way that I work with people. It isn't about organizing or coaching. It's about offering both, and it's about being able to talk with people through what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what their needs are, and how to process it. And so, like I said, it comes from my own personal journey and the things that I learned and discovered, and the wisdom that I've gained over the years, and also a result of having lost my Aunt Martha. I wish I'd known sooner. I wish I had known that she was so troubled with some of the things that she was experiencing, and some of the things that she was going through. And I wish I had more time. I wish I could have had more time with her, and to have lived closer to her, to be able to help her. But I just didn't know, and that's one of the biggest sadnesses is, people are fighting battles that we know nothing about, and so it's next to impossible to help when you don't know about them. But when they've gotten to the point where it becomes so life-threatening, then it's even more difficult. So I added life coaching. I offer coaching in conjunction with the organizing, but I also am offering it separate from that, so that I can, do what I can to help people who are struggling, help move them forward. And sometimes the people that I work with, the recommendation is a licensed professional, and I've had clients that I've worked with where I've said, until you do talk to somebody, we can't move forward, but once you do, we can get back on track, because I want to work with them and do what's in the best interest of the person. So that's where the life coaching comes in. The program that I have for it is called the Lotus of Life, and the Lotus of Life is my logo with each of the petals representing a different life aspiration area. It's not about focusing on all areas of life, but it is about being able to identify which area of life the person wants to focus on the most, and then being able to move them forward. It also includes physical space as well as the emotional space. So I hope this helps shed some light on the life coaching piece of it and how they work together. If you have any questions for me about coaching, about organizing, or about how this may be a good fit for you, or whatever it is that you'd like to do in your life, and you're ready to move forward, you're ready to let go of what no longer serves you, I would love a chance to be able to talk with you. Feel free to share in the comments and or reach out to me. If you want to remain anonymous, I would still be happy to, as far as social media goes, I would still be happy to connect with you. And stay tuned for tomorrow. I have 2 more topics that I'm going to share with the services and offers that I have. Tomorrow we're going to talk about interior design and staging and how those play into everything. It is separate from space utilization, but everything is part and parcel. So I'm excited to be sharing these topics with you. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.